Hello there guys, welcome to one of my videos. On this video there's a few things to negotiate about. So I am going to be giving you the latest news regarding Milan Skrinar from Inter Milan. Then I'm going to be giving you Manchester United's worst signings in the last decade. Then I'm going to be talking with you a bit more about the Manchester United Southampton game tomorrow night. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff. I've already given you my preview for the game and I've already given you my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference. Anyway, let's start with the news on Milan Skriniar. So there were stories coming out yesterday from Tutor Sport and they have said that Manchester United have put a £58 million bid in for Milan Skriniar. It also mentions that Manchester City are interested in him. Manchester City are in search for a centre-half because futures of John Stones and Otamendi are uncertain. And obviously, City are looking for a replacement for Vincent Kompany. Solskjaer with us, he's looking to recommend the centre-half in, even though we have got around 7 centre-halves in the team. Obviously, we've got Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof that are our first-choice centre-halves. We've got Bay and Tuanzebe that are our backup centre-half. We've still got, obviously, Phil Jones at the football club. Obviously, we've got Rojo and Smalling, that are out on loan. It's looking like, that Smalling's going to be going to Roma permanently. Roma are going to pay around £3 million to extend his loan. Then there's going to be an obligation for Roma to buy him for around £13 million. And if Chris Smalling does join Roma on loan, I think he will sign a 4-year deal. And hopefully we can get rid of Rojo on a permanent transfer because he's on loan at Estudiantes. But would you take Milan Skriniar at Manchester United? We have been in for him before. We was also in for him last year. I think last year Inter Milan did want around £71 million for the player. He is 25 years of age. This has been Milan Skriniar's third season at Inter Milan. I think he has made around 100 appearances in the Serie A. He has got a contract with Inter Milan until 2023, so he's still got quite a few years left on his contract. Inter Milan, I think, did pay around €20 million for him from Sampdoria back in 2017, and I think that actually made him the most expensive Slovakian player of all time. Back in 2016, he was named the best under-21 Slovakian player. He's very, very quick in that back line. He's good at making clearances, is Milan Skriniar. He's also very effective in the air. So do you think he'd go well alongside Harry Maguire in our back line? But I think Inter Milan have come out and said that they are willing to sell the player. So, would you take Milan Skriniar at Manchester United? So he's now another player on our agenda. Now, let's give you our worst signings in the last decade. I think there's around 10 signings we've made in the last decade that, have been really bad players for Manchester United. So I think one of the worst signings we have made was definitely Falcao. He was a really, really bad signing. We got him under the Louis van Gaal era. I think also to Sebastian Schweinsteiger, he was also a really, really bad signing. Also got him under the Louis van Gaal era. Memphis Depay, we thought it would have been a good signing, but it turned out it wasn't a good signing. So, he was a bad signing, Depay. Obviously, he fulfilled that number 7. Obviously, didn't really get a lot of opportunities at Manchester United. And again, we got Memphis Depay under Louis van Gaal era. We got him from PSV. But since he's left us, he's done very, very well at Lyon, to be fair. I think we sold him for £20 million. So he was another bad signing. Also, too, I think Angel Di Maria, he was a bad signing as well. Don't forget, he is on that list as one of our most expensive signings. We did pay just under £60 million for Di Maria, was it, from Real Madrid. So, he was a bad signing. We also got him under the Louis van Gaal era. Also, too, you can say Mkhitaryan, he was a bad signing, because he didn't really make an impact at Manchester United. I think we brought Mkhitaryan in under the Jose Mourinho era. Obviously, Mkhitaryan left the football club back in January 2018. He went to Arsenal as part of a swap deal of Sanchez coming to Manchester United. I think Milan was also a very, very bad signing. We got him under the David Moyes era. I think we paid just over £27 million for him from Everton. Fellaini did enjoy 6 years at the football club. So, he was a bad signing. Like I said, Alexis Sanchez, he was also a very, very bad signing as well. Like I said, we got him in January 2018, Alexis Sanchez. As you all know now, Sanchez is out on loan at Inter Milan. He's going to be staying on loan with Inter Milan for the remainder of the season. I don't know if Inter Milan are going to get Alexis Sanchez permanently. Like I said, Sanchez not too long ago recovered from injury. I think he had a dislocated ankle and he was out for like 3 months. But he's been very, very inconsistent in Milan. He also endured a difficult 18 months at Manchester United, Sanchez. He made, 45 appearances for us in all competitions and scored 5 goals. He has still got a contract with us until 2022. So Sanchez is actually facing a dilemma. I don't want him back at Manchester United. There were stories coming out quite a few weeks ago saying that we'll only take Sanchez back on one condition, and that's if Sanchez is willing to accept a squad role. But it would be beneficial if we could get rid of him permanently, because it would free up our wage bill completely. We're still paying the vast majority of his wages, despite the fact that he's on loan at Inter Milan. We're still paying him like 300 odd grand a week, and Inter Milan are paying like the other 100 odd £1,000 a week. So it would be beneficial, if we could get rid of him permanently, Alexis Sanchez. So we have made quite a lot of bad signings, in the last decade. We really, really have. Bebe, I think he was also a bad signing that Manchester United had made. So yeah, there is a lot of bad signings, that we have really, really made. So there you go. But I think, there's players that we've brought in, who did really, really well for the club and who we shouldn't have got rid of. Prime example, Ander Herrera did well. In reality, should have kept in. Lukaku did quite well, in reality, should have kept in. But we have been criticised for several years, reflecting how poor our recruitment policy's been. We've also been criticised for overpaying for players, because I will make that admission, we have overpaid for players in recent years. 75 million for Lukaku, 89 million for Pogba, 80 million for Maguire, 50 million pounds for Fred, 40 million pounds for Matic. So yeah, we have overpaid for players. Anyway, let's now delve into some news building up to the Manchester United Southampton game. Solskjaer has confirmed he will be naming an unchanged side against Southampton, and this will be the 5th game in a row if he names an unchanged side, because in the last 4 league games, Solskjaer has gone with the exact same team. And the last time we went with an unchanged side in 5 games in a row was back in February 1993. Because I don't think Solskjaer's got any explanations, why I'd want to make any rotations in the squad, because, they have done really, really well in the last 4 games. They have done really, really well. And, if we do beat Southampton tomorrow, we will extend our unbeaten run to 18 games in all competitions. We are unbeaten in our last 17 games in all competitions at the moment, and we're unbeaten in our last 10 league games, and this is our best vein of form since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager. I'm very, very convinced that we're going to beat Southampton tomorrow. Very, very convinced. Like I said, Southampton have been in a good vein of form recently. They drew with Everton recently. They also beat Manchester City. And they have got some good attacking players of Southampton. They have got the likes of Nathan Redmond, who was good for them. They've got Danny Ings. I think he's on like 19 goals this season. They've also got Stuart Armstrong, Yeah, they've got James Ward-Prowse, they've got Ryan Bertrand. Don't forget, Southampton have let quite a few of their imperative players go in recent years. A lot of their players that have gone have obviously, gone to Liverpool. Lost Van Dijk to Liverpool. Dejan Lovren, Adam Lallana, Nathaniel Klein, Sadio Mane, and all of that. But yeah, Southampton don't need to fear about getting relegated. They're not going to get relegated. They're going to stay up. Southampton's expectations probably will be to finish mid-table. Earlier on in the season, it was looking very likely that Southampton were going to be relegated because they was in a bad vein of form. Don't forget they had that 9-0 home loss to Leicester, and it looked like Ralph Hasenhüttl was going to get sacked as Southampton manager. But they've really, really done well since then, to be fair to them. We've got a pretty decent record against Southampton. We have won our last 8 league. We're unbeaten in our last 8 league games against them. I think we've won 4 and drawn 4. The last time Southampton beat us was back in 2016 under the Louis van Gaal era. I think Charlie Austin had scored that goal in that particular game. The game earlier on the season at St Mary's was 1-1, and the game at Old Trafford last season was 3-2. Like I said, I give you my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference yesterday ahead of the game. Obviously, Solskjaer's been talking a lot about Mason Greenwood recently, and he says that he's not worried about Mason Greenwood burning himself out because Mason Greenwood's had a lot of starts recently. But earlier on in the season, the vast majority of Mason Greenwood's appearances were coming from that substitutes bench. But he's actually, my preference over Daniel James, and he's looked very, very effective on that right-hand side. Mason Greenwood has got 16 goals for us this season in all competitions, and this has been his first season in the senior squad. Mason Greenwood. And Solskjaer did recently say that Mason Greenwood is ready to play for England at senior level, and he said he's a much better finisher than Wayne Rooney was at the same age. So yeah. Also too, Solskjaer said our plans for next season, our transfer strategy and our pre-season plans are up in the air because of the uncertainty of how the current campaign will finish. So there's a lot of uncertainty, regarding the summer transfer window. Obviously, our transfer budget is unknown. A lot of clubs' transfer budgets are unknown. Don't forget, we've taken a £140 million loan. Obviously, to help us, get the right calibre players into the football club in the summer transfer window. Solskjaer did confirm one thing: he will avoid buying any rotten apples in the summer transfer window because quite a few weeks ago he warned our players he will not tolerate any rotten apples in the squad. Solskjaer's told Ed Woodward, the 3 positions he wants to strengthen up. He wants to recommend a striker in, he wants to recommend the right winner in. And I think he's also looking to recommend a, centre defensive midfielder in because he's still areas in the squad that do need to be addressed. So he also, mentioned this during his press conference. Obviously, he got told about the news regarding Jack Charlton. He died at the age of 85 recently. Of course, played for Leeds United. Obviously, brothers with Bobby Charlton. Solskjaer also mentioned during the press conference about Southampton. He's spoken a little bit about them. He says they're a good team and, they've got a good manager in Ralph Hasenhüttl. So these are some of the stuff he'd said during the press conference. He also mentioned Marcus Rashford, like I said to you yesterday. He said he's been very, very happy with Marcus Rashford since the resumption of the season. Of course, Rashford was out earlier on in the season with a back injury. And I did say to you, didn't I, he was a big miss. But Rashford has looked very, very effective, on that left-hand side. He really, really has. So, yeah, they are the stuff that I had mentioned during his press conference. But, we've got now 4 games remaining. And don't forget, Solskjaer recently demanded maximum points. He says we've got to win every game, if we are to finish in the top 4. It was very, very good yesterday because Chelsea had lost 3-0 away to Sheffield United. So we are just 2 points behind Chelsea. Is it only 1 point behind Leicester now? So there's actually a great chance we could finish third. But Solskjaer was talking about the importance of Champions League qualification. And he said, we need Champions League qualification. Will it have an impact on our transfer business if we get Champions League qualification? But we definitely, do need it. There's a chance for us winning 2 trophies this season, and that's the FA Cup and the Europa League, because we are into the semi-finals of the FA Cup, and we're also more or less into the last 8 of the Europa League, because we are 5-0 up against Lask from the first leg. And I think, we can win at least 1 trophy this season under Solskjaer. We've not yet won out in terms of silverware under Solskjaer. And Solskjaer, has been at the football club 18 months. Last time won a trophy was back in 2017. And that was the Europa League in the League Cup under Jose Mourinho. Won the FA Cup back in 2016 under the Louis van Gaal era. But yeah, I think we can get some silverware on the board. As you all know, the Europa League quarterfinal draw's being done. We've either got Istanbul, Başakşehir or Copenhagen in the quarterfinals. And the quarterfinals of the Europa League will be played on the 10th and the 11th of August. We've got to play our second leg against Lask. And that is on the 5th of August. But obviously, we are through because we are 5-0 up from the first leg. But I think, Solskjaer's challenged us to go unbeaten for the remainder of the season. And, I think we can do this. But I've seen a hell of a lot of improvements now under Solskjaer. We're going in the right direction under him. Solskjaer's decision-making's also really, really improved. He's making the right decisions now. It's totally contrast to earlier on in the season, because earlier on in the season, a lot of the decisions he were making, were not the right decisions whatsoever. They were not the right decisions. Like I said earlier on the season, Solskjaer didn't really have a plan A. He didn't really have a plan B. Very tactically inept as well. But, now his decision making has really, really improved. Like I said, we've really, really improved in the transfer market under him. Solskjaer's got the players that I wanted to recommend in so far. So far, Solskjaer's recommended 5 players into the football club and spent just over £200 million. Last summer he brought Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. And in January he brought Bruno Fernandes and Odin Igalo in. So that's very, very good. Like I said, Solskjaer has promoted the youth very, very well. The young players have been given their chances this season. There's some young players and some players in general that have found game time very difficult at the club. But, when Solskjaer got appointed in as Man United manager, he said everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players. And more or less everybody has been given their chances. We've done very, very well against the top 6 sides this season. Beating City 3 times this season, beating Chelsea 3 times this season. Solskjaer's beaten Tottenham twice as a manager, drew with Liverpool earlier on in the season, beat Leicester earlier on in the season, so that's something else that's also improved. Obviously as well, we have extended a lot of players' contracts since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got recommended into the football club. We are still facing a dilemma regarding the contracts though, because we've got around 8 players' contracts that are due to expire next year, so Solskjaer's got to make a decision on those 8 players. He's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into the club. I think over 20 players have left Manchester United, since, Solskjaer came in. And yeah, I've seen improvements. And, like I said, a lot of aspects of our game have really, really improved. If you've been watching Man United recently, we've been creating more chances. We've been scoring more goals. So we've been more clinical in front of goal. We look much better in that midfield with Pogba and Bruno Fernandes, because the combination between Bruno Fernandes and Pogba has been exceptional. I think, we defensively do look better. Our football looks more expansive. And this is what we wanted to see, really, since, the start of the season. I said to you, didn't I, our expectations next season will be to challenge for the Premier League title, because now this has been the 7th season we have failed to mount any kind of title challenge up. And Solskjaer did recently say that we've got to obviously spend money to compete with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. But, I think we can win a title under Solskjaer, and if we can, do this, it will be our 21st title, because as it stands at the moment, we have won 20 titles and 13 of them are Premier League. So We are the most successful team in England as it stands at the moment. I'm not saying we're going to win the league next season, but I think we can be up there challenging. I think we could. I hope that we can get a title on the board, before maybe 2023 or 2024. But, we shall see. But earlier on in the season, we was all critical of Solskjaer, so I was as well. Because I thought earlier on in the season, his managerial tenure at the football club wasn't going to become successful. Because earlier on in the season, we'd enjoyed our worst start to a Premier League season for 30 years. And, at that point, there was talks of, Mauricio Pochettino coming in and Massimiliano Allegri coming in. Mauricio Pochettino was linked with a job at Man United before Solskjaer got the job permanently, don't forget. He was also linked with a job, after Jose Mourinho got sacked. A lot of United fans did actually, want Mauricio Pochettino in. And obviously, look at the results earlier on in the season, losing away to Newcastle 1-0, struggling against Rochdale in the Cup. Losing away at West Ham 2-0. Losing away at West Ham 2-0. Losing at home to Palace 2-1. I think that was the third game of the season. Drawing away at Southampton 1-1. Then, of course, we lost at home to Burnley 2-0 back in January. That was our last defeat, the 2-0 loss to Burnley at home. So, yeah. So, some people say, reflect on how bad we was early on in the season. They'll say Solskjaer's still looking to be here. But I've already given you the main explanations why Solskjaer didn't get sacked as Manchester United manager, because since the signing of Bruno Fernandes, he saved Solskjaer's job, and Bruno Fernandes has made a difference in the team. Bruno Fernandes has now got 8 goals for the football club since his arrival. Also, too, with Solskjaer being a club legend, that could also play a part in it as well, because Solskjaer was a great player for the football club for 11 years. He flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance, So these are the reasons why. And definitely Solskjaer will be Manchester United manager next season. Even if we weren't to get qualification for the Champions League, and even if we weren't to win the FA Cup or the Europa League, he will be here next season, because it is a transition period, and it has been a transition period for a while. Don't forget, the vast majority of this team is not Solskjaer's. Solskjaer's inheriting players here from the Jose Mourinho era. He's inheriting some players here from the Van Gaal era, and there's still Matter here from the David Moyes era. There's still a couple of players here from the Alex Ferguson era, but actually the vast majority of this team is Jose Mourinho's. So let's just put that into the equation. But Solskjaer does need more time at the football club, and I think now he'll probably see out the remainder of his contract at least, and I think Solskjaer's just got under 2 years left on his Manchester United contract. Of course, Ed Woodward did say, the other month, don't forget that we will remain competitive in the summer transfer market, and he did say we won't do business as usual. So he ruled out big transfers to Manchester United. I think the coronavirus pandemic did cost us around £28 million, and said the other month our net debt is just over £429 million, and our debt had risen up by almost £130 million. So, this is what it had said. But the summer transfer window will be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager. And like I said to you, in the last 7 years, we have been playing catch-up. We've had different managers with different philosophies. We've spent close to the £1 billion range on players, and people will say, reflect on the money we've spent, we should be where Liverpool are, or minimum, we should be where Man City are, but we're not. We've also got players on big contracts at the club. We've also had long-serving players at the club, and we've got now long-serving players at the club, But yeah, give Solskjaer more time at Manchester United. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot of uncertainty regarding the summer transfer window. Woodward and the Glazers, they've been criticised for several years. Woodward's been here since 2012. The Glazers have been with us since 2005. But there you go. You already know the news, don't you, regarding Jadon Sancho? I give you it when I did my Southampton preview yesterday night. Borussia Dortmund are demanding around €130 million for Sancho. That equates to around 116 million or just over 116 million in pounds sterling. We've already said that we are not willing to pay any more than the 89 million pounds, what we paid for Paul Pogba. I think we're only willing to pay 60 or 70 million pounds for any player. It actually said yesterday from the Manchester Evening News we could agree a deal for Jadon Sancho if two of Borussia Dortmund's conditions are met. But don't forget, he recently said that Borussia Dortmund now are looking for replacements for Sancho because they've come to accept the fact that he does want to leave. He said recently that the deadline's been set for Sancho and we've got until the 10th of August to sign the player. And it says if we don't sign by the 10th of August, the deal is off. He also said we've put 6 players up for sale to fund the move for Jadon Sancho. Because Dortmund have said several times want over £100 million. We're not willing to smash our transfer record for the player. Don't forget there were stories coming out quite a few weeks ago from Ian McGarry and Duncan Castles. They'd both said that Sancho's agreed personal terms with Man United. He's agreed a 5-year contract with around £140,000 a week, but no fee has yet come to an agreement. Sancho is our number one priority target. There were stories coming back out in February saying that Jadon Sancho had agreed almost every little detail of a move to Man United. He said everything had been agreed except the fee. So it's Borussia Dortmund's asking price that seems to be the stumbling block. But I believe now we're the only team that are in for Jadon Sancho. You had Borussia Dortmund's CEO last month coming out and he said that he's very convinced Sancho will stay with Dortmund. Then you had Lucien Favre last month, the Borussia Dortmund boss. He said that Jadon Sancho could still leave in the summer transfer window. And I've outlined the reasons why I want Sancho at Man United is because he's got a really, really good friendship with Rashford and plus he's well proven in the Premier League. Sancho, quite a few weeks ago now, was fined £8,000 for breaking lockdown rules, and reflecting on that, Dortmund said they was losing their patience with the player. Sancho still got a contract with Dortmund until 2022. We've already made a promise to him that we are willing to offer him the number 7 because we've got number 7 vacant at the moment. Of course, we're looking at a few alternatives to Sancho and there is cheaper alternatives than Jadon Sancho. We've been recently looking at Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona. My only element of concern about Ousmane Dembele is that he is injury prone. So there you go. And like I said, we're going to get rid of at least 5 players in the summer transfer window because he's still deadwood at the football club that we do need to get rid of. So, we will see what happens. But we get rid of players in the summer transfer window anyway. We are going to generate money that way. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.